And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world, guys. And welcome to Let's Chat Live with Tina Willis. So today I am so excited. But before I start, for those of you who don't know me, I am an online digital business coach and mentor. And what I do is I help people globally to set up a legitimate business in the online space. It's for those of you who want to work online and be your own boss. It's for those of you who want to create an income for yourselves and your family. So if you're watching this or watching the replay, connect with me to learn more. But today is just not about business strategies, okay? It's from a different angle today. It's about what's happening between here, all right? What's happening between your ears? Because the biggest battles that we fight aren't the ones in business or life. It's what's in our own minds. So today I am so excited. I have got two amazing people coming on. They are leaders within our business community. They lead from the heart. They inspire, they educate, they motivate, and boy, do they have fun. As Chris always says, if you ain't having fun, you ain't living. And that is so true. So today I want you to give a warm welcome to Chris and Karen McCallum. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Tina, thanks for having us on.
Oh, no, it's my absolute pleasure, guys. I've been so looking forward to this. I know it's been over a month since I invited you. And I've got to tell the truth. Yesterday, I suddenly thought, oh, my goodness, I've got Chris and Karen on tomorrow. Oh, my goodness, I've got to get myself ready. So I am so made up. You are here. Obviously, we want to hear a bit about your story, guys. But the first question, which I want you to incorporate your story in, is that if you could tell every new business owner one thing about mindset before they start, what would it be?
Great starting question. Yeah. I mean, for me, that's easy. And I wish we had known what we got going. But I mean, it's whether you believe you can do something or whether you believe you cannot do something, you are exactly right. And that is the core of the transformation that has happened in our entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Guys, you're freezing. Guys, you're freezing a bit there.
Oh, let me shut things off here.
Yeah, your internet's... See, we're not technical, guys. We go live. Yeah, you're completely frozen. We can just about hear you. Oh, I think they're coming back in. So while we wait for Chris and Karen, yeah, we are going to talk about mindset today, guys, because mindset is not just the secret ingredient. Mindset is the main ingredient. And everything we do comes from what's in here. All right. So hopefully we'll get Chris and Karen back in a minute. But I want you to put in the chat, because I can see there's a few people watching now. I want you to put in the chat, what do you think holds you back? What do you think holds you back from everything you want in life? I know we've got Jem watching here, so please let me know where you're coming from. Let me know what you're up to, and we shall get Chris and Karen back here in a minute. I think they're just sorting their internet out. But let me know, what do you think is the one thing that holds you back from being successful, or holds you back from anything that you want in life? Okay, Karen's just messaged me. We are trying a few things. Stand by. Janice, definitely my mindset. Roxana, watching from the USA. Hello, Roxana. So Janice, you've put definitely your mindset. My belief in myself, Alice. Yeah, so many things here. Let me just message these guys. Okie doke. Let me just get them on. Won't be a sec, guys. Where's our Karen? Stand by. I'm standing by. Here they are. They're back. That's better. We've got you.
Okay.
Okay, this may happen again. Who knows?
No, don't worry. I was just asking some of the audience what's holding them back.
Okay.
Guys. And Alice was saying her belief in herself. Janice, definitely her mindset. But that question I asked you is for everybody, really, not even just business owners. So just to go over it again, if you could tell every new business owner one thing about mindset before they start, what would it be?
Well, you know, Tina, it's something. So this is an easy one for us to answer. As a couple who have grown into having not known anything about mindset really before we got into this business, this is what is our quickest and easiest and greatest summation of that question. It's that whether you believe you can or whether you believe you cannot, you are exactly right. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that kind
Sure.
of captures it all.
Captures everything. And, working online, you are in a fishbowl.
Mhm.
And, I always say, you're not that important. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you look like. Nobody cares. Right. So what others think of you, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. People, like if all three of us here, you can think of someone that you would never be friends with. They're different. It's not my people. So why? I'm not someone else's people. You have to just believe that you'll find your tribe. Everyone has their tribe, and that's what you go through life with. So there are going to be people that aren't going to like you, but it's none of your business. Love yourself.
Yeah. I love that. And do you know, it's so true, because one of our followers here has just put, I fear of feeling daft. And you know what? I feel daft every day, Joe. And just to share, my very first go live I ever did, I didn't realize I'd pressed the button and I hadn't had my hair done. And my grey roots were down here. And I had my head down like that. And all you could see were my grey roots. And you know what? I thought, stuff it, because not, as you said, Karen, not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is your person. Not everybody is your tribe. And 9 times out of 10, they're too busy worrying about what somebody else is thinking about themselves. So no, that is a really good answer. And yes, Chris, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
It's about perception, isn't it? It's about that perception. Yeah. So I love this next question for you, because do you think success, and you are two amazing, successful people within this business, do you think it's more about strategy, or do you think it's about becoming that person capable of success?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, you sure can.
I think with any successful, I was in education before, and there was a book that all of the administrators read, and it was called The Art and the Science of Teaching. And they blend beautifully together. So I think you have to have both. But I think the art of this is about 70%.
Mm-hmm.
I think it weighs more to the art of it because it's about relationship building first, and then the strategy. Strategy's easy. Anybody can learn strategy, right? But the art of it, you have to work on yourself. Yeah. Right? The strategy is given to you. Like, it's all in the training. Like, that's easy. But it's the art of it. You have to work on yourself first in order to.
And I was thinking along a different kind of a definition of success. If that was that kind of what you, well, anyways, I heard the question differently a bit, Tina, and I just want to say this out there, because I think that anytime you pursue something greater, or pursue a goal, or work to improve yourself, that process of working towards that is success. And so, sometimes I think that we set success at a benchmark. Oh boy, when I earn this amount, or get my degree, or reach this level in my running career or my fitness, then I'll be successful. And I think that's incorrect, because it's the actual decision and the journey along the way that is the success itself. It's the journey. It's the exploration. It's the challenge. It's every day putting one foot in front of the other, getting up and doing a little bit of something to improve yourself. And that all falls back into that mindset, right? That if you can step away from defining your greatness or your personal feeling of success by a benchmark, and rather by what you're doing to get to those goals.
I love that. And I have to be honest with you.
Can I hear the question? Okay.
No, you both came from different angles, which is really, really good. And it's powerful, actually, because people who are watching are going to be thinking about both sides of things. And I have to be honest, when I first started my business just over 6 years ago, I benchmarked myself by the results until I started actually working on me and working on my mindset, which was pretty crap back then. And I suddenly realized that my success wasn't the results or the benchmark of the results. It was about the person I was becoming along the way. And that was my definition of what my success was.
Yeah.
And I realized it was changing my identity of who I believed I was.
Right.
To achieve those results.
Yeah.
That was the success bit. So if I was to ask you, how did you both have to change as people to get those results? What would you say from the day you started to who you both are now?
I thought working online, I had to be somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't do a go live or till my hair was done or I had makeup on, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I tried to be thinking that this is who they wanted to see. And then we had a strategy call with someone, and we said, what made you come to this call? And she said, I saw a go live of you, and Karen, you were a hot mess. And you went out to it was the hugest compliment, though. She said, your hair is up in a messy bun. You had no makeup on, a sweatshirt. You went out to the shop to talk to Chris about something in the business, and you did a go live. And she said, I can relate to this. That's me. That's me today. And so then I thought, okay, that, you know what I mean? Like as soon as this is me, either take it or leave it, then our business really, 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 really took off for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, there was part of that too. But for me, it was all initially anyways, it was learning how to become humble. Learning humility was the biggest grace that this whole opportunity has given me personally. I was a firefighter, and with that, I identified as a firefighter. That was my identity, and admittedly, it was an ego. I had an ego about that, and I pigeonholed myself into that career. And I quickly realized that, especially after this opportunity allowed me to retire, it was like pulling if my firefighting career was a bucket of water, I pulled my hand out of the bucket of water. I thought when I left, the whole department would fall apart.
That's me too.
And the water rippled for about a half a second. Someone jumped in, and is doing my job, and it's, and who might have think that I have that kind of.
Yeah.
So it was just such a humbling experience.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Tina, you've been so gracious with saying that we've been successful. We are, we are doing great online. We're certainly not the best at this, but we've done well, and it's allowed us to retire. But it's also the what am I trying to say? I've grown in humility.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest gift of all of this. And I think it's kind of, ricocheted into our adult children.
Because we've attracted people into this business that have really humbled us. They have surpassed us like we are standing still. And after a while, we had to talk to ourselves and said, okay, that's just good mentoring. Because wow, like we get them going into this and they just take it and run. So that's been humbling too, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it does do that to you. And I think this business does create something inside of you that makes you, I think, more empathetic, more humble, more caring. Because we do have egos as people. We do. I mean, you said something before then, and I was the same. When I quit corporate life, I thought, they're not going to cope without me. You know what I mean? That was my first initial. But you know what? They just took my targets, split them between 3 other people. And who's Tina Willis? Who was she? Forget about her. She's gone. But the sad fact is, that's the way of the world. And that's what people don't realize, that there's no security in jobs anymore. There's no security in anything except doing something for yourself and building something for yourself. But it does change you. And when you hear all the stories within this community, it humbles me every single day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. There's not a day go by so I don't have a little whinge. You know what I mean? Because of something I've seen and the stories I've heard. So I love that. Absolutely. Yeah. So if I said to you, what limiting belief about yourselves as individuals held you back the longest, what would you say? Did you have any?
That's such a great question. Tina, the quality of your questions. Well, okay, so here's the thing. No.
I did.
I didn't. I've always believed, I've always believed that I'm a big daydreamer.
Oh my gosh.
To a fault, almost. I can see things happening. This sounds so bizarre.
Karen's face is a picture there. She's an absolute picture.
I have a story.
Okay.
So when I met Chris, he had a drawing of a log home on his coffee table one day. And I said, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And he says, yeah, one day I'm going to build a log home. And I thought, yeah, whatever. So, and we were teachers.
Where's the faith?
Yeah, well, and we were teachers at the time. So that was fine. We go on to be, we were teachers. And then he was 3 years into his career and he said, I think I'm going to pursue firefighting. And he was 36 at the time. And I thought, you're old. They'll never take you in Calgary.
It's 34.
Okay, well, whatever. So potato. So anyway, so there was many levels to get onto Calgary Fire. Many levels. He had to have a big panel interview and a physical test, lie detector test, and every test he would go to, they would be a few months apart. I thought, this is the day that they're going to tell him, Chris, thanks for coming out. See ya. But every time he kept, and I thought, oh my gosh. So he became a firefighter. Here we are in a log home. Wow. Everything he had said, I'm going to meet Alexander Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals. I'm going to shake his hand. Sure enough, that's what he did. I'm going to interview Alex Goodwin of the April Wine.
Miles Goodwin, yeah.
Miles Goodwin, and he did.
So
anyway, you've always believed.
And I love that you share that because it kind of backs up that whole concept that I've always believed that you can do anything.
Yeah.
And
you have.
Limiting beliefs to me are, I don't know how to get around them. I wish I had the answer to tell people how to get past limiting beliefs because I've always believed that you can dream it. I believe that, true story, I would meet and marry a beautiful, outgoing, loving woman.
Oh, bless you.
I believe that. And I did. How's that one?
Karen, he's after something. He's after something.
You're after something. That's a good one.
No shame.
That was good.
Yeah.
My limiting belief was fear.
Yeah.
Fear of what?
I was a change. Like I was a good teacher. I was secure in my career. You know what I mean? But I was scared of the online space. I was scared of failure. I was scared what my family would think.
Yeah.
I was scared. You know what I mean?
I think,
and it was like, what if this doesn't work? La, la, la.
I mean, I did also have that too.
You never shared that though.
Well, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
when we were, when my brothers and sisters, we come from big families, they're asking, what do you guys do online?
Yeah.
And we kind of didn't really want to involve them for, I think, that fear of judgment.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? Why would you leave the security of, a career in education? Yeah. Karen was a master teacher with, like a really high level educator in Western Canada with accolades and acknowledge, she was.
I loved it.
You were really, really good at it. And I had a very secure career with Calgary Fire. And why would you leave that security to pursue something for yourselves? And our friends and family would ask us that,
and you're crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. But it's all about time. It's all about time.
It is. But what helped you actually break through those limiting beliefs? So more Karen than you, Chris. What helped you fight through them?
Well, the first check helped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm being completely honest. We in Canada, our commissions are paid through are mailed to us. So when that came in the mail, I thought it was a Reader's Digest check. I thought this is a joke. Like, we can't be paid this much for what we've just done. Wow. Come on. So I took it to the bank.
Good feeling.
I took it to the bank and put it on the counter and thinking, oh, this is going to go to hell in a handbasket. And so she stamped the back of it and said, so do you want cash with this or is this a full deposit? And I thought, start the car. So that pivotal moment was one of the things.
Red wine helped.
Yeah. And I think just, we worked on ourselves. Like, I just got more and more confident, and that, nobody's born confident. You become confident by doing it over and over and over again. So when we built our business page, I was on the business page every day. And I would respond to people every day. And then you would get confident in responding to people, and you would get confident in, our business. And then eventually I was confident that this was working. Right?
Yeah.
And then whether people jumped on or not, it was up to them. Like, that's the thing. There's no pressure. That's what I loved. In fact, in our strategy call, they said he said at the end, I don't know if this is for you. Right? So there was no pressure. And we, they are our mentors now, and we do the same thing. Yeah. Like, we don't know if it's for you. Like, it's up to you. We're going to be with you along the way. But it was all about confidence, and it was fun. We made it fun for sure.
The other thing that is so hard to explain with this opportunity, I mean, I don't want to digress into talking. I want to stay on mindset, but
No, it all comes together though, doesn't it? Life and mindset. It
really does. There's just something so internally unique about this opportunity that really aligned well with us, and it's that there's a real sense of integrity and fun and community and serving people. It's just this mix of everything that just aligned well with who we are and what who you are. And the people that we attract are also, so we're really attracting like-minded people, and they're from all around the planet, which has been fascinating. So that, and of course you get the odd twit and the odd twoot, and the different people that come in, which make it fun, right? But it's when you can attract like-minded people from, tens of different cultures from around like 20, 30 different cultures. I don't know how many, 40, 50 cultures around the planet. It's eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's connecting, you know, and I don't even know where I'm going with that, except to say that this has been a really fantastic experience. Yeah.
I think it's like a domino effect, because for me, you look at the connections we have within this business, you look at the friendships we've made, the way everybody lifts everybody up. And I think it's a domino effect. And if we can have that domino effect, it makes the world a better place. Not wishing to sound corny, but it does. You know, it is a community built on integrity, love, and faith and trust. And that's the beauty of it. But if you were saying, because obviously we talk about business mindset and business, and it can be a roller coaster. Absolutely. I mean, there's days when I felt like throwing my laptop at my husband for various reasons, just because I wanted to. But you know, it is that. But what do you tell yourself when motivation dips?
You know, motivation and inspiration are two different things. Motivation is like a hot bath.
It's external too.
It cools off.
Yeah.
You know, inspiration is like an inner volcano of lava that just never stops spewing heat and fire and drive, you know. And but sometimes, you know, you just want to, like you said, oh my God, I don't want to do anything. Like just the other day, like yesterday, day before, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of traveling. I'm tired of all this stuff. I want to get to, like, we got a wedding coming up. I got a deck to build outside. I got all these things that I want to do. And you know, so where's that inner drive? And then, you know, when you reflect on, when you really come back to being kind of grateful for what you have, you know, here we are in our late 50s, early 60s, retired from careers, able to work for ourselves and determine, you know, when we do what we do from wherever we want to. That is a massive life gift. And we're grateful for that. That gratitude will recenter you back to, holy crap.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to continue in this fashion? There's your inspiration. Motivation, yeah, okay. I see some other people achieving. Oh, I want to do that too. That drives you a little bit. It's got to come back to inside.
Inside, yeah.
Has to.
Yeah.
You know?
I think too many people, and this is just what I've learned over the years, is that we all tend to blame external circumstances for what happens in our lives, where actually it comes from in here. It's our perception of what's happening in our lives and our own reaction to them. So when we react in a different way, our lives will change. You know, and it is down to gratitude. And the one thing that I do every single morning, guys, is I smile. I wake up and I smile because I know what this business has given me, but also I'm alive. I'm alive to enjoy it. And I'm grateful every day. And do you know what happens? And I said this the other day at our Gather and Grow. The easiest thing to flip the switch from negativity to positivity is just smile. Because when you smile, you can't think negatively. It's some sort of gift, you know.
Awesome! I love that. I'm gonna adopt that.
Now you're gonna be walking around smiling.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Karen, I tell you what, if you're smiling, that beautiful smile now, if you carry on smiling, try and think something negative while you're smiling. Bet you can't.
I know, right? Isn't that
I never even knew that.
Yeah.
Tina, we all go through different ups and downs with whatever it is that we're doing.
In our careers, whatever, yeah.
And you know, I think I haven't really figured out how to do this yet, but one of my mindset goals will be to not allow when things are going really great, not to get too high with that.
Yeah.
And on your laurels and, oh my gosh, I'm an amazing, or when it gets too low, not to get too down, to try to cut off the ups and try to keep it in that middle zone, as you continue towards your goal. That's something that I would love to be able to, because there's times when, holy cow, something amazing has happened in our business and you're on cloud 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's sometimes when things are really crappy, where you're down low in the valley,
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to really maintain that. And that's a goal of mine,
Mm-hmm.
to grow to that point, to be able to handle, to be able to.
And the beauty of this business is you determine like your time, right? So if we're having a rough day in business, which we do, it's not all sunshine and roses, we can close our laptops and go for a drive. Yeah. I couldn't do that in teaching when I had an angry parent in my classroom, or I had meetings after school. I couldn't just leave the school. I had to deal with it no matter what was going on in my life. But with this, we can, shut the laptops. Let's just go for a drive and let's talk about what is going on here and what's our next plan. So that, and then we just work on ourselves to deal with different things that happen.
I love that.
No, that is so true. And, I felt the same in corporate life, because I was working 16, 17 hours a day some days, and I would have more bad days in corporate life than good days. But I'd come home and David get the brunt of it, you know, and now, thankfully, 5 years on, that doesn't happen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because he knows I'm always right. He's sitting there listening, but no. But it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You've got nowhere else to vent that frustration out of that job or that career. And now, no, we just talk about things. We're out, we're in the country. And that's what the beauty of this freedom gives you. So just before we finish, just one more question for everybody who's watching here. And there are so many comments in the chat, guys, too many to go through, but thank you for all your support, whoever's watching now and whoever's watching the replay. One last question for somebody who's watching right now or going to watch the replay, feeling stuck, feeling overwhelmed for whatever reason in their lives, or doubting themselves. What would you want them to hear from you guys as one final message?
I would say, if you're in that position, that is super normal. We were in that position too. And we just stuck it out until we got past that.
Mm-hmm.
You're where you're supposed to be,
I love that.
It's like going, I don't know. That's a bad example. I was going to say it's like going to the gym. You can go consistently for a long time and not make any gains, but over time you will start to grow. But that's kind of a bad analogy. I don't really have a good analogy for that.
Well,
except
I think
to say that
in this business, there's so many tools in the toolbox, and there's so much support, like with the training, or if we're dealing with the situation, we just reach out to someone and say, hey, has anybody dealt with this? And you know what I mean? Like, there's so much support that helps us get out of that funk, or deal with whatever we're dealing with.
But do you remember in the summer of 2017, we'd been in the business for 3 or 4 months or something, and we weren't getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And then
that's what we thought, but we were.
Well, we were,
but we didn't know if this was.
Okay. And so, but I remember us talking. We're like, oh my gosh, like if this doesn't, what are we doing? We're in a funk. We weren't
confident with the training.
No, we're confident. We didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
Our goal lives were horrible. Some would argue they still are. but we just continue. Like we just believed in this and could see other people just like us doing the same thing and having success. That if we stuck it out and continue to grow, both personally and in confidence, that we would get to a point where we were successful too. We just believed that. We could see it. And so
that summer we met another business owner. It was the first time we met another business owner live
in person.
She was from Saskatchewan when we were holidaying there. And so we met up with her for coffee. So that made it, okay, this is real. She's having success. And so we kind of picked her brain, and she, picked ours, and we kind of, networked together. And then that gave us kind of
I forgot about that.
It kind of catapulted us into out of that funk that, okay, let's just keep going. We're on the right path. We're doing well. So
I think that's fabulous. And it's so true, because this has been amazing. I've just loved chatting to you both. But as human beings, we want that short-term fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going on a diet, which I've done many times, but it's like going on a diet and somebody flashing a bottle of wine and a stinky pizza in front of me. I'm going, oh yes, please. I want that short term. Mm-hmm. But instead of thinking about the long-term goal of how I'll feel when I've lost all that weight and feel amazing, it's that short-term kick. And it's the same with your mindset. People don't think of that long-term feeling that they're going to get by achieving what they want. They think of that short-term fix. I want it now, want it now, want it now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's a double-edged sword working online.
Yeah.
Because online, you can put, maple salmon recipe. Bang, you've got it. You get answers instantly. So, but online business, people think, okay, I should be making fast money. Right?
Are we having maple salmon tonight?
Yes, we are.
Woo!
I'm on my way. Is there a bottle of vino to go with it?
Always.
So it kind of works. When people work online, they think that, okay, I should be making money right now, but you got to get into the mindset of an entrepreneur, and that's a whole new conversation. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the hurdles to get.
It circles back to motivation and inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Jim Rohn once said, and I quoted it earlier, and I don't know if you caught it, but he said, motivation is like a hot bath. It cools off. Mm-hmm. I always think of that. Yeah, that always comes to my mind. And then, so where's my inspiration to better our lives? Because this is our life. We're growing together as a couple, and we're growing as people. And we have a common kind of vision of how that will look. And so we're together working towards that. And it works the same for individuals and, and other couples, right?
And reaching a certain goal is motivation. Like our motivation, we wanted to retire.
Yeah.
So we retired early. Okay, we've met that goal. Now what? So that's when the bath was cold. Then we had to, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's external. Whereas inspiration is internal.
Right.
Right. Yeah. You have to, and you just have to keep feeding that inspiration.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely amazing. I've loved every minute of it. And for anybody who's watching out there, guys, and anybody who's going to watch the replay, what I hope you take from this today is that success isn't reserved for special people. All right, success can mean so many different things to you, but every one of us, Karen, Chris, me, all of you watching, has fears, has doubts, has insecurities. The difference is that some people just take action. Some people decide to take action despite of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, despite of them, move forward. Mindset's not something that you're born with. It's something that you've got to work on and build. One thought, one decision, day after day after day. Mm-hmm. Every day, in every way, I am successful. So never forget that. Never forget that. Thank you so much. Love you both lots.
What a great.
This is good. Your chat roll, man. You get a lot of people watching your live.
They come to see you.
Like it's rolling there. Holy cow.
Away with you.
Yeah, you could have streamed on your page as well. It was too late, wasn't it? Never mind.
Oh yeah, we should have streamed it to it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I'll download it and send it to you on email.
That would be great.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you. All the way from the UK.
Yes. Thanks, guys. We shall see you all soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye now.